everybody, welcome to eFlexonics Show, completely designed for the business owner. So let's get into today's show. And I gotta tell you, I went to, what is this? This is Monday. Yesterday, I went to the clinic and I got on the left ear. Let me tell you a little story. I have not been able to hear out of this left ear for 2.5 weeks. Started slow, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 nothing in here. So last week it was, we went to the clinic, and the doctor took one look at my ear, and he said, "Ooh, yuck, there's a lot of wax buildup in your ear. I can't do anything with it, so you're going to have to go home for about 4 or 5 nights and get your wife to drop oil, like vegetable oil, into your ear with an eardropper, 3 or 4 drops a night, and then put some cotton bat and screw it into the side of your head. There you go. And go to bed and make sure that cotton batting is going to keep the oil inside your head." So we did that. And yesterday we go back, and same doctor in the clinic, nice guy. And he flushed my ear out, and honestly, if you took your little finger, and cut it off at the first at the first joint there, knuckle joint, that is as big as that piece of wax that came out of my ear. The doctor was so surprised. He said, "You know, that is about the biggest piece of earwax I've ever taken out of anybody's head." And I've got it upstairs in a little prescription bottle. My wife thinks it's the most disgusting thing on earth, but I think it's kind of cool. So what a pleasure it was to be able to hear, because that's why I haven't been doing a lot of podcasting, because when you only can hear out of one side, out of one ear, it really affects how you set up your audio microphones and your headsets and your microphones, and how hot they're running, and even listening to television, and even the balance. My balance was off, and I was so nauseous these last couple of weeks. And I said to the doctor, "Could that be why I'm feeling sick to my stomach all the time?" He said, "Oh, absolutely." "And is that why I'm dizzy?" He said, "Yeah, because it screws around with the inner ear as well if you get that much of a blockage." But anyway, here we are. We're at the show, and we're going to have great things happening. So let's get on with the show. The show is labeled "Great Stuff for the Business Owner." Rick covers a lot of territory, and today we have, how many things are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about, because I number them. I like numbering them. I like structure, and I like order. 10 things. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put my little thoughts when I go to that website, and then we will delve into the website, and then I will read you a couple of sentences from that particular website and my personal views and opinions of what we're looking at. All right, you ready? Okay. Here's number one. Number one, some great apps for mobile. They also work well on the desktop. I was quite impressed with this collection of really helpful web designs. Take a close look and see if you can understand what the creator had in mind when they used their own specific colors, shapes, designs, and even white space in their blogs and websites. I like the fact that they show 5 web designs and then followed up with 5 mobile designs. The author has not forgotten how powerful the mobile platform can be. Well done article. Now, by that I mean everybody is getting on the mobile bandwagon. If you don't have a mobile web presence now, to be honest with you, you're in big trouble. So let me click on which mouse do I use? So this is number 1 link, and I've got links in the show notes. And below the video, you will see all the links. So here we are, and this article is from Mashable. And I really like the stuff coming out of Mashable these days. So, number 10, excellent user interface designs to learn from. And it says, and I quote, "The website design usability series is supported by Join.me, an easy way to instantly share your screen with anyone. Join.me lets you collaborate on the fly, put your heads together super fast, and even just show off." So what this does is it's a screen sharing application. And then we do this, and then we go over here. And then where are we going here? So I like it. Join.me. So next on the list, when you get to this page from Mashable, this is something from a company called Ronin, R-O-N-I-N, And you can try it for free, and it sends invoices and gets paid. Now, there's another program. What is it? I've forgotten temporarily the name of it, but it will come to me. It's a company in Canada that also does that, and it will give you free, you can send out free invoices to one customer forever, and if you want to pay for the rest of their services, they can if you get more than one customer. Hopefully everybody has more than one customer. So Ronin, R-O-N-I-N. So I think that's helpful because a lot of people, they just don't know how, or they just have a real tough time invoicing people. They do great work, but as far as invoicing, they hate to do it. So they're on the list. Campaign Monitor's World View. Excellent UI designs for mobile and web on the World View. What we like. It's a tool that lets you view your Campaign Monitor subscribers on a world map. Oh, this is good. You know when you go into, or maybe you don't know, but when you go into YouTube, there is a place there that will show you geographically where all your hits are coming from. But this looks like really good too. And what we like, the landing page looks great, and the application interface is clean and simple. There's no clutter here. Just large maps visualizing subscribers and a few simple menus for managing views. The application cuts out all the fluff and gets right down to business. So see, it depends on what business you're in. Of course, if you're in a restaurant business, you're going to have more local, centralized people viewing your website. But if you're in the import-export business, or if you're in the photography business, or if you're in the seminar business, or anything that doesn't take, you don't have to, put stock in a particular warehouse. Stuff you can do on the net for very little cost. This looks like a really good idea. So that's number 4 for them. Let's go on to the next. Grab the wrong mouse again. All right, number 5 out of 10. Make any web page print friendly. Oh, this is good. Print friendly web. What is it? Print friendly takes any website and gives you a stripped down printer friendly version of that site with the option to share or download a PDF file of the print friendly version. That is extremely handy because nowadays websites become overly complicated, overly cluttered. And sometimes if you just want to print a PDF form of that file of that website, it's very, very, very difficult. What we like, there's not a lot of frivolous information or clutter here. The site simply does what it says, and that's about it. The landing page gives you everything you need. Print-friendly results are easy to read, easy to print, and easy to share. I got to go down for one word. And there's a video here on a lot of these. Next, 6 out of 10 is Global Convert Pro. And this is mobile. Now we're getting into mobile, right? What is it? Global Convert Pro is an application for converting units of measurements and currency between various standards and countries. Now, great if you're into anything that does this kind of thing, like a import-export business. What we like, the application is dead simple to use. Just select what you want to convert from the menu on the left and enter the values. It doesn't get much easier than this. And the layout is clean and uncluttered. So now we're moving into the mobile application. And to be honest with you, I just downloaded Yellow Pages, Canadian Yellow Pages on my phone, and wow, did they ever have a slick interface. I'll have to do almost a complete podcast show on some of the applications because Yellow Pages, they've really done a well thought out design. You go on their application and it'll bring up a front page where it'll say, what do you want to see? Bars, restaurants, or people, or businesses. So it has white pages in there as well. And if the Yellow Pages has built them a website, or they have a website, they will show a little tab and you can go to their website. Very, very handy. So don't forget about the Yellow Pages. All right, so grab the wrong mouse again. Next, and this is 7 out of 10, Nike Football Plus Team Edition Mobile. What is it? An iPad application that lets you create football, soccer, training drills, and routines, and includes instructional video and progress tracking. What we like. Seeing good design come out of Nike is no surprise, but we really like how it all comes together. It's a great combination of color, typography, iconography, and clean, simple layouts. Many sports apps tend to become cluttered. Now, The reason I'm bringing you down here is because I want you to get used to, and this is a very, very pretty, very well laid out page right here from Nike. It's called My Training Programs. It gives you an idea of what you can do. Now, in my WordPress blog, I use an app or a widget called VideoGal or VidGal, where you can take snapshots of videos, and they're small, and then you can populate them all throughout a page, and then all the customer has to do is put the mouse over one, and it comes up, and then click it, and they can play. I think very much like what Nike's got here, but for the mobile platform. So that's 7 out of 10. Let's go to the 8. Oh, I like this. It's called Tabletop. And again, this is mobile. Oh, you're going to love this. What is it? A modular audio editing and mixer environment for the iPad. What we like. Seeing iPad applications with interfaces that mimic their real-life counterparts is nothing new. But often they tend to look a bit hokey. We like how Tabletop has pulled off the look here. There's a lot of detail within an application, just give it a very polished feel. Now again, it's a picture of a keyboard, but Apple has done such a great job, and they make such beautifully elegant products, and this is for the iPad. Now, interesting to note that there's going to be a lot of tablets coming down the road very, very soon. As a matter of fact, I looked at, and I'm looking very, very closely at the Galaxy Tab, that 10.1-inch Galaxy Tab from Samsung. Very, very sweet. It got 4.5 stars out of 5. I did some research on the Toshiba. Toshiba has a tablet called Thrive, and it got 3.5 stars. It's because of the weight, and it's because it's not as slick in user interface. It's just not as polished and elegant as the Samsung product. So when I go to get a tablet, I don't think I'm going to get the iPad, simply because we're Android freaks here now, and I think we're going to probably get the Samsung tablet. And that'll be nice to. When I get that, I'll do a lot of podcasts. Now, my son-in-law has the iPad 2, so we'll have him on the show, and he can show us all about his iPad 2, and he can show it off as well. So let's go next. So next on here is, what is it? This is, what is it, 9 out of 10. What is it? The iOS version of the popular To-Do/GTD Mac app, Things. What we like. Things have a, okay, so this is a simple interface that is easy to use, but really makes it shine. Are all the little details. It's the combination of subtle, small things that come together to make the app look super clean and professional. The subtle gradients, the text shadows, clean lines, and details within the icons. So this is a mobile app. It looks like an organizational app. It looks really, really good. Things. It's called Things Mobile. That's 9 out of 10. Let's go 10 out of 10. And it says, Dinosaurs and Science. Okay, what we like. It's called Notably, Notably, and again, it's for the mobile platform. What is it? Notably is an authoring tool for the iPad, designed to give creative writers a clean, clutter-free writing environment and organized writing collection. When you take a look at this, the layout is very, very slick and elegant. Like all things that come out of Apple, very, very classy. What we like, notably, is spacious and clean, and the typography looks great. The subtle off-white colors work well for reducing eye strain within the editor and give an overall feeling of warmth that makes the application feel inviting to use. The book metaphor, while commonly used, I gotta go down the page, is particularly well suited to the iPad. I think, hey, have you heard about this tablet that's coming out from Amazon? It's going to be a 7-inch tablet, so it's going to be 3 inches smaller than the iPad. And they're going to release it for, I believe, don't quote me, but I heard somewhere $250, so about half price of the iPad. And it's going to, of course, be running Android. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Toshiba's got a tablet, Samsung's got a tablet, Amazon's got a tablet, and their tablet's supposed to be the iPad killer. I doubt if it's going to kill the iPad. It will certainly influence sales of the iPad. And I was just reading that Apple stock took a hit because they are lowering their expectations, and they're not ordering as many iPad 2s going into quarter 3. So let's go back here. And so that was number 1. So number 2 on our list is your cell phone spying on you? I'll just bet it is. Ever wonder just how much Big Brother has taken over your life? This article explains it, and it's just a little bit shocking. You know, as if it's as bad as some people say it is. Perhaps we could all just wear clothing with our business names on it, and all the Big Brother nerds who are watching could buy more of our stuff. Just a thought, but cell phones really are spying on us. So let's go into the webpage, and I'll take you for a little cruise around. This is from CNET News. Privacy at risk? Who's watching you? Roundup. The notion of Big Brother has been around for decades, but technology has long lagged behind the Orwellian imagination. Not anymore. In the era of smartphones, face recognition, and the omnipresent internet, the stakes are now much higher. That's what drives the new CBS drama Person of Interest. Have you seen this? I haven't, but it's for the guy from Lost. Read on for more about the show and about real-world connectable dots of the everyday surveillance we live with. Now, did you hear about Apple getting in trouble? I think it was Apple getting in a lot of trouble for tracking cell phones. And they said, well, we're doing it so we can pull together data. So if, for example, if we need to put a microwave tower out way in the boonies and we've got a lot of customers there, that will give us the data. But really, it was a spy machine. So I think you're going to find more and more as time goes on and as more cell phones come on the market, that this is going to be a real issue. And if you're freaked out about the new Facebook layout, you will be super freaked out about how cell phones can really spy on you. So take a look at that. Oh, you know what? I got to turn off my microphone. Oh, no, I don't. I'll let it go. So take a look at that, and in the coming shows I will do more in depth, but I thought I would just touch on that right now. So your cell phone can really spy on you. That was number 2. Let's go on and see number 3. Okay. I'm getting sick and tired of everybody suing everybody else. This Apple thing and Samsung thing is just driving me crazy. Hey, come on. What's the deal with all of these lawsuits? Can't companies just play nice? Apple is all in a dither because Samsung bought out a tab that looked just a bit like the iPad. Do this experiment for me, please. Please. Go on the internet and take pictures of 4 desktop computers from 4 different manufacturers. And make sure that you Photoshop out the manufacturer's logo off it, and then invite 10 people over for a party and ask them to view the pictures. See if you can tell which manufacturer is which. They're all square, gray boxes that look almost identical. So the burning question is, how can Apple possibly sue anyone if their device looks a little bit like the iPod or the iPad? How are you not supposed to make it look like a tablet? Make it bigger? The Apple could say that their device is smaller. Make it smaller? Then Apple could say that their device isn't in the same category as their 10-inch footprint. Make it bigger? Then Apple's iPad, you could say it was, you're not making a competitor, you're making a television. It's driving me nuts. Have we created such a litigious society that it's coming down to thinking, well, we're going to put out a product and hope to God that someone doesn't sue us? I say, whatever happened to common sense? Doesn't Apple realize that all of their lawsuits are just going to force the Asian companies, and that's Samsung, to do 2 things: sue back and really get mad at Apple that has interrupted their very successful marketing campaign, and force them to complete a small change that they can put on the market and not get sued from anyone else. Apple has no doubt set the bar when it comes to creating elegant, easy-to-use, beautifully crafted products. But what are they going to do when the Amazon 7-inch tablet comes on the market? Are they going to sue them? There's about to be a huge flood of companies making tablets, and I'm very much looking forward to Microsoft and its Windows 8 tablet format. Now, I would buy one of those. And the neat part is about Microsoft's way of doing business is they don't want to make the hardware. They would much rather farm it out and make money on the operating system. And Android has learned that valuable lesson from it, and it's doing well. So let's go and take a look at number 3. And then I'll guide you through that page. So here it's VIA files patent suit against Apple iPhone. VIA Technologies has sued Apple for patent infringement in regards to Apple's iPhone, iPad, and iPod. Ooh, they're really hitting all 3 platforms, aren't they? And Apple TV products and associated software, VIA said today in a statement. Wow, so this could be this could be big. The patents involve cover microprocessor functionality in the above-mentioned products, and they give a whole bunch of numbers. Taiwan-based VIA bills itself as a leading innovator of power-efficient x86 processor platforms. Today's patent complaint was filed in the United States International Trade Commission and the U.S. District Court of Delaware. I can't understand why we can't just get all the companies together and say, look, instead of suing, why don't you just innovate? Why don't you just do that? You know, why don't you just, because all of this suing, what it's doing is just making the attorneys rich. It's not making the case. What it does, really, and I've been listening to Leo Laporte on this, and Geek News Central, it stifles innovation. So that was number 3. Let's move on to number 4. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to have a new button on your Chrome browser. Okay, I like it, and when I can finally get my hands on it, I think I'm going to love it. The new tab is going to help us get more organized, and who doesn't want to see that happen? The only challenge is that the magic tab on the page isn't for general consumption yet. I have a feeling that this tab will inspire more folks to start living inside the Google experience. After all, Google has done such a great job at inviting and enticing everyone to share the Google goodness that I feel this tab will put the rest of the hangers-on of other systems over to the Goog just in time for the release of a whole bunch of manufacturers that are going to flood the market with their own rendition of unique tablets. After all, Google's strength is in search, and if you can simplify search, then so much the better. Let's go over and take a look at this tab. Chrome's latest tab. And this is CNET again. CNET How To. Got a beautiful page. Okay, and so they've got a video on the latest Chrome package. Oh, and they've also got on the right-hand side of that, the little Fiat 500 that's coming to Canada. Have any of you seen that little Fiat 500? Gorgeous little car. I wouldn't hesitate to buy one if I needed one. So it gives you a breakdown of how to use that particular tab in Google. And let's go take a look at this. There's a clever and intuitive organizational feature included too. You can click and drag items from any of the 3 pages to the bottom bar and create custom categories for keeping them organized. See, it's all about A, search. First we want to get you in search, and then if they can make your life organized, who wouldn't want that? I think that's a very, very good thing that they're doing. They're making things organized. So I like it. I like it a lot. Combine this with the age-old but still highly effective, useful bookmarking method of location bar stars, which will appear on the bookmarks page, and you've got a powerful yet simple way to ensure you're always putting the parts of the internet you care about most right on when you want them. Now, have you noticed this? I've noticed this in my RSS readers. I mean, when I put a show together, I draw from, I'll bet you, 12 to 15 different RSS readers for eFlexonics. I've got 3 podcast shows on the go. I've got eFlexonics, which is dedicated for the small, medium, and large size businesses, but mostly for small and medium businesses on how to use technology. Then I've got Healthy Tech Talk, and that's how you can work with technology and keep your sanity, your health, physical health. And then I've got Uncle Wiki Radio, where when I do research and I see something that's really neat and I think it would be important to people, and it does not fit in a category either at eFlexonics or at Healthy Tech Talk, I'm going to put it on the Uncle Wiki Radio Show, and I've created another blog at Blogger, and I will be doing all the overflow stuff that I think is really important and really fun for people to see. All right, so that's that. So you can take a look at that article and watch the video because it's really cool. All right, now here comes something exciting. Groupon. Have you done this Groupon thing? Our daughter Cindy uses Groupon quite often. So does our daughter Leanne. They both benefit from huge savings, and I mean from at least 50 to 76% off. So it begs the question, can Groupon keep this up for an extended period of time? Well, let's look at some creative accounting, shall we? Groupon says that they made an accounting error, and that, my goodness, where did that 400 million mistake go? Have you heard about this? Nice try. Groupon will just about to present an IPO with tons of money when this little inconsistency showed up. And not from Groupon, but from the good folks who oversee their IPO, initial public offering. When will companies stop using greed as a main ingredient, you get that, of their business plan? I hope they can recover from their little mistake, because as you all know, I'm a sucker for a great deal. It's just that I get offers sent to me frequently from Groupon, and it's mostly stuff I would never buy, use, wear, or rent. And that's true. Now, the other day, there was something there that interested me, but we didn't have time to get in on the deal, and that was the copper mine. When you're going toward Whistler, it was half price. Now, that's not bad. But our family, as I say, our daughter and our daughter-in-law use Groupon all the time. So there was another one by Google or somebody else that they tried to do that, give really good deals, and it's struggling. The main one seems to be Groupon, and it seems to be the leader. But they're in a little bit of trouble, and I hope they stick around. Okay, it says, and this is from, who's this from? Who is this from? We've got to go up here. CNET News, digital media. Groupon slashes reported revenue by half. COO exits after 5 months. One of those things is pretty bad. Two of those things together is almost a disaster. Now listen to this. But according to the Wall Street Journal, the Chicago-based company is slashing its reported revenue by half, from $713.4 million in 2010 down to $312.9 million in accordance with accounting provisions prompted by the SEC. What's more, only after 5 months of the job, Groupon's second CEO has quit. Second COO. Groupon was recently compelled to change its accounting practices after discussions with the Securities and Exchange Commission, valued at $20 billion. Groupon was on track to move forward with a $750 million IPO, but in June it was revealed that S1 filings that it had nearly $400 million in net losses, which triggered an intense backlash, widespread doubts about its business model, and SEC scrutiny. Why are all these companies screwing up, and they know they're screwing up, and they, all of a sudden, wow, this big mistake happened. Come on, can't you just get your finger off the greed trigger for just 1 minute? They're stuffing their companies and wanting them to be more valuable, much more valuable than they are. Now, has anybody seen the inside job here about what happened in 2008 with all the banks in the United States, and those same people that screwed everything up so terribly are still in power? It's ridiculous. So anyway, I thought that would be a nice little article for you to read. I hope Groupon can weather the storm and get out of the trouble that they're in. Okay, number 6. Some great advice from a business owner. She's good, she's quick, and she loves to share knowledge. Wow. I'm impressed with this article because the author presents her material up in your face without being haughty, brash, or indignant. She's a young entrepreneur that tells you to keep an open mind in your business and to look for opportunities that you may not have considered. I really value her opinion, and if I could gather all of you who view, read, or listen to this blog around a big cozy meeting room and have this young lady as a guest speaker, I feel that you would do more for your thought process than a lot of the so-called business books that are crowding the shelves of stores at the present time. So let's go into the website and have a look-see. This is from Business Insider. Here's everything I wish I'd known when I started a company at 16. Vanessa Van Petten, Petten, Young Entrepreneurial Counsel. I started my company as a naive 16-year-old. There were so many things I wished I had known. Stray from the plan. Now, this is where it gets really, really fascinating. When I started RadicalParenting.com, I was constantly told, stick to your big goal or full speed ahead. Having an end goal is great, but I didn't realize that being flexible and being open to unexpected opportunities were equally important. So say, for example, you've got a business, a food truck, and you're out there and you're selling hot dogs and you're selling hamburgers out of the food truck, and somebody comes along, I don't know, with a spice truck. Why don't you, if an opportunity comes out and presents itself, why don't you get together with the spice truck people and start selling their wares, and why don't they advertise with coupons and start selling yours? See, if an opportunity arises and we do not see an opportunity, then we're in big trouble. So read this article, because it's an eye-opener as to if the best opportunity comes by and you don't recognize it, you're in trouble. So let's go out of this. So that's Business Insider. That is number 6. Number 7 on our list of wonderful things is Morphe. Have you heard about this product? Morphe, Morphie. They build stuff for Apple fanboys and fangirls. And I love these products. Too bad I don't own an iPhone. I own an iTouch, but big deal. That's not going to help me out in the field with an iPhone. But if you did, and you would love this product as well. My wife's cousin owns the exact same superphone that we do. And that's the Motorola Atrix. Robert, the cousin, was complaining that he was going out the other day and was using a special program on his cell phone that tells you how far away you are from the ball, like golf. Like I care, because I've never played golf and I don't intend to. But he was saying that he was lucky if he got 2 hours of battery life out of his phone. So I did a little bit of researching and discovered that if you do indeed use the GPS function, such as Robert did with his golf program, expect to have very limited battery life. And this is where it pays to go out and get this Morphe gadget. iPhone users are going to love the freedom that this little groovy battery extension will afford you. So I couldn't leave out the people who had Android devices. Here's a product that is not as sleek and sexy as the Morphe, but still gets the job done. Click here. So for the Android people, it's at the end of the article, and it's a battery pack chargeable that you click into the phone, but Morphe's really neat. It looks like a small lighter. So let's go to the website. Oh, every time I look at this, I'm envious. Oh, why don't they bring something like this out for the people that have Android devices? $34.95, Morphe Juice Pack Reserve. The worst is when you're at the tail end of the day and you've got to take a call, message someone, or browse online with your smartphone, and you realize you're on the last iota of power. If I cut out, it means my battery went out. Moments, although integrated charger cases are useful, they're also bulky. That's the one that I was talking about for the Android. That's why we like the lightweight keychain lighter sized solution, which provides 700 milliamp hours of charging power. At least for iPod and iPhone users, friends might be asking you for a light, but we really mean to tap your juice pack. That is such a beautiful looking little battery extender. Oh man, gorgeous. Take a look at it. For all you Apple fanboys and fangirls, I'd be buying it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. All right, let's go to number 8. Samsung and Apple. Will they ever see eye to eye? I don't think anytime soon. Another lawsuit. When do we get sick of everyone suing everyone else? It's sad that huge companies can't settle their differences in front of a beer instead of in front of a very high-priced lawyer. Samsung makes chips for the iPhone. Apple got their feathers ruffled because Samsung has a beautifully designed tablet that, while it looks like a tablet, Apple accuses Samsung of making an almost exact duplicate of their design. When all of the dust settles, I think that the market will have some fantastic tablets from multiple vendors. Just because Apple made the first wildly successful and marketable tablet doesn't mean that they're going to hold the lead for very long. There's just too much competition out there who are hungry and aggressive, possibly even more aggressive than Apple. Anyway, I finished my little rant. Let's go over to the page. Take a look at that. And the headlines say, this is from ARS Technica from Infinite Loop. Samsung has officially stated that it plans to bring the hammer down on Apple's free riding on its patented 3G wireless technology. Among its latest moves is a lawsuit seeking to ban Apple's iPhone in the Netherlands. Ooh! You see, this story heats up because Apple really smashed Samsung. As a matter of fact, they took it to a judge in the Netherlands, and he said you cannot put your Galaxy Tab on display. I think there was a huge consumer show over there, and boy, oh boy, I would imagine if I was Samsung, I would have lost my mind. So those same sentiments were echoed by Samsung Senior Vice President Yi Yong-shi in a recent interview with the Associated Press. She characterized Samsung's legal maneuvers against Apple since Apple launched a massive lawsuit against the company's Galaxy-branded devices in April as passive. Now, however, Samsung will be pursuing our rights for this in a more aggressive way from now on. Don't they get it? Apple is over there. And they're still made in China. You flip the thing over, iPad, iPhone, iTouch, I don't care what it is. They're still all made in China. Samsung is Asian. And they're huge. I mean, Samsung makes excavators. Samsung makes TVs. Samsung, it's into everything. When these two titans clash, and they are going to clash, it's going to be interesting. So I thought that article would be of some use to you. All right. I love this one, number 9. Isn't it about time Apple loans out iPads to their employees? Wouldn't you if you owned Apple? Okay, here's the story. When I used to sell high-end appliances, and this is me talking, there was one manufacturer that approached the staff and told them that if they purchased certain models in their lines, they would sell it to them for half price. When I heard that, I snapped up the opportunity and grabbed one of their dishwashers, which were selling 4 years ago for $1,300. Now that's expensive for a dishwasher. And I got one of these for $650, took it home, hooked it all up, and fell in love with the product. Before I left that company, I was the top salesman of the Asko dishwashers in that store. Now, Asko's from Sweden, and they make an incredible product. I would sell more of these European dishwashers than anyone else, and there were some very talented salespeople in that store. So, it makes sense that Steve Jobs would offer to lend employees iPads. I mean, if you owned Apple and brought in that disgusting amount of profit that they bring in, wouldn't it make sense to you to put your flagship product in the hands of the people that handle it every day? It just, because, you see, if they have it and if they take it home, they would sell more of it. They could play with it. They could, you know, I mean, these are your frontline people. They deserve to have the product in their hand, and they also should be able to buy them for like a quarter of the price. I mean, for I would say $100 for an Apple employee to buy an iPad, he should do it, because when you put your product in your employee's hands, it does nothing but create excitement. Agree? Agree. Let's go over to that website. And it is from CNET News, Apple Talk. Apple pilot program to loan iPads to retail employees. Okay? Apple this week delighted. Let me try that again, shall we? Apple this past week detailed plans to introduce an interesting new program that gives its retail employees a chance to check out iPads like they would a library book, CNET has learned. The future program, which one source described as a pilot, is designed to let employees borrow from a stock of loaner devices. Employees can then use the device freely for 1 week before having to return it to the store, allowing for others to use it. At the moment, the loaner program is only set for Apple's flagship store in San Francisco, and it's unclear whether it will go on to make its way to other stores or include other products. An Apple spokesman declined to comment or verify the existence of the program. Well, of course, Apple will never. It's such a secretive company, it's crazy. Now, tell me something. How do you lose a phone, an Apple i4 phone, a couple of years ago or a year ago, and then you do it all over again with the iPhone 5? I don't get it. I mean, did these people purposely go out in bars and lose phones? It's very, very strange. All right. The last one, I think, will be attention-getting, if nothing else. Number 10 is, they abolished slavery, didn't they? Obviously not. This is, you're going to find fascinating. Now, this really caught my attention, and I don't know how it will help you if you're a business owner, but I thought it would be interesting. The headline is, you have 101 slaves working for you. It is shocking to know that in other countries that there's still forced labor going on. Depressing? Yes. Necessary for the low prices of your iPhone, iPad, iTouch? Absolutely. I've heard that if you build a comparable cell phone in North America, it would increase the cost of that device by at least 5-fold. So a smartphone that is made in China for $500 would cost at least $2,500 to make over here. Kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Well, this week's show, I hope you've enjoyed it, but let's take a look at the webpage, because this really opened my eyes. I thought, what is going on? You won't believe it when I read from the page. And this is from Fast Company. It's not easy to be socially responsible consumer, even if you buy mostly local products and diligently keep track of corporate environmental footprints. You may still be leaving trail of slaves in your wake. After all, who do you think is digging up the materials is in your smartphone or picking the cotton for your T-shirts? Slavery Footprint, and that's what it's called. A new website and a mobile app that launched today, the 149th anniversary of the announcement of the Emancipation Proclamation, can tell you approximately how many slaves have pitched in to make the goods you enjoy on a daily basis. It's kind of icky at first blush, but then it's fascinating. It's almost like watching a train wreck. You don't want to see it, but then you think, should I see it? Because, you know, we live in such a society that we are so far disconnected from that. Let's go on. This site, created in a collaboration between anti-slavery nonprofit Call Plus Response and the state's Department Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons, using a complex algorithm to calculate how many slaves work for you based on a number of questions, including how much jewelry you own, whether you're a gadget geek, what's in your medicine cabinet, and even whether you're paid for sex. You think, wow, you'll just have to check out the site to go to the details on that one. After going through the processes, I discovered that there are 101 slaves toiling away for me. That is actually a fairly low number, according to Justin Dillon of Call Plus Response. The issue seems far away the truth if you can't leave your home in the morning without touching something that was made with slavery. What revelation. It almost makes you feel guilty. And then we go back to our North American lives and we forget so soon. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. If you have any comments, just let us know. Give us an email at eflexonics@gmail.com, or our Magic Jack phone number is 778-800-0246. And thank goodness we 2 weeks ago, I had a Chinese person that was leaving me messages, like frantic messages, 3 or 4 of them in Cantonese or Mandarin. I don't speak Cantonese or Mandarin, so if you're going to phone this 778-800-0246, please make sure it's in English so I can respond. I felt sorry for the person. Maybe they're trying to get a hold of me for something, but hey, if you don't talk English, it's the only language I understand. I'm sorry, I can't help you much. So anyway, this is Rick Haaland for eFlexonics. Folks, thanks so much for joining me with the show. And there will be no more. Tell me what you think of this content. What I do is I put the link to the page there, and then I write my own little 2 or 3 paragraphs on that particular item. Then we go into the page. Tell me if you like that, or if you would want me to change the show's format any way you want, and we shall put even your questions and your comments on the air. Thanks so much for this week. We'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.